Hello everyone, have a nice day. Have you ever seen a moment that made the whole social network choke up with emotion? Today, we will witness a sacred and emotional moment. Alex's mother officially performed the ceremony to pray to the ancestors, bringing Anna and Henry into the family as blood relatives. A seemingly simple ceremony, but containing deep meaning about family love, connection, and traditional Vietnamese beauty. In this video, you will see every touching moment, the incense smoke spreading in the altar, Alex's mother's proud and emotional eyes, and Tuna and Henry's happy smiles when they were officially recognized as family members. Let's watch until the end of the video to fully feel the meaning of family love across borders, and the sacred power of the two words family. Early in the morning, the first sunlight of the day filtered through the white curtains, covering Alex's luxurious office with a soft light. A steaming cup of coffee was on the table. Documents were neatly arranged, all exuding a careful and meticulous demeanor, down to every detail. Alex rang the bell to call Secretary Lin in. She walked quickly, her eyes focused, waiting for orders. Alex's voice was deep and decisive. Today, you are going to help me with 3 things. First, check the progress of the contract with the Japanese partner. Second, arrange a meeting with my mother in the afternoon. And lastly, pay attention to the reaction of the partner group. When they heard that we had found the internal sticker in the company, he stopped, looking out the window, where the sunlight was shining on the small garden where his mother often planted flowers. Lin nodded continuously. Taking careful notes, Alex continued, his voice warm but serious. In business, it's not just about numbers, it's about how people react. Watch closely, don't just listen to what they say, watch what they do. That sentence made the room suddenly silent, except for the ticking of the clock. He sighed softly, as if there was another concern in his eyes, not just about work, but also about an important matter that was going to happen in the family this afternoon. When the sunlight turned yellow on the road leading to the suburbs, Alex drove alone towards the farm, where Tana and Henry lived. When the car stopped in front of the farm gate, Tana sat and waited. The wind blew gently, making her hair fall loosely on her shoulders. In her arms, Henry, the little boy, smiled and looked at him with clear eyes. That look made Alex's heart soften. Tuna saw him. Her heart suddenly tightened. So many emotions rushed up at the same time. Joy, because she was about to be officially welcomed, but also mixed with worry, fear that she was still an outsider in his world. She gently squeezed her son's hand, her voice trembling. Henry, Daddy is here. The little boy looked up, looked at Alex with round eyes, then giggled. Without words, just that smile made Alex feel strangely warm in his heart. He bent down, gently touched that tiny hand, a touch just enough to hold, but also full of shyness. Tana stepped closer, her eyes shining with gratitude, but deep inside there was still a hidden uneasiness. Are you sure your mother will accept? She asked softly. Alex did not answer immediately. He looked into the distance, where the sun was gradually setting behind the hills, then said, My mother has prepared the ceremony. Today, everything will change. The words were as light as a breeze, but enough to make Tana's heart beat faster. She did not know whether to be happy or to cry. She understood that, for Vietnamese people, the ceremony to pray to ancestors is not just a ritual, but a sacred acknowledgement, a step across the boundary of strangers to become family. Beside her, Alex gently squeezed her hand, without saying anything. His eyes were enough to say it all. Don't be afraid, I'm here. And the car continued rolling on the sun-drenched road, bringing them closer to the fateful ceremony, where incense smoke, tears and smiles would blend into an unforgettable afternoon. Very quickly, the family of 3 arrived at Alex's house. Alex's mother's face was radiant with a hint of emotion. As soon as she saw Tana carrying Henry down, she immediately approached, her voice filled with warmth. Oh my God, you 2 are here. Are you tired from the journey? There was no distance at all. She took Henry from Tuna's arms, gently hugged him. Her gentle smile seemed to warm the whole afternoon. Entering the house, the room was filled with the scent of incense, Fresh flowers were already arranged on the family altar. She turned and whispered, before the ceremony, "Let me make milk for you." Having said that, she carefully took out a small milk bottle, scooped each spoonful of powder, poured in warm water. The movements were so slow and gentle that Alex felt his eyes sting when he stood there watching. Henry looked at her, his tiny hands groping around, then smiled an innocent smile that softened everyone's heart. Nhat sat beside her, her eyes filled with tears. She had never thought Alex's mother would be so close. No reserve, just the genuine love of a grandmother and a mother. Alex looked at the two women and let out a small sigh of relief. In the room filled with the sunset, Alex's mother sat on a chair, gently holding Henry in her arms. She carefully held the milk bottle. While feeding him, she softly sang a lullaby, her voice warm like a song of love. Henry obediently leaned on her chest, his eyes half closed, his small, pretty mouth still stained with milk. That scene made all the worries of the day seem to disappear. Meanwhile, Nhat and Alex took the opportunity to put more dishes on the altar: red raspberry, boiled chicken, small cup of wine, and a vase of bright yellow chrysanthemums. The incense smoke began to spread, mixed with the scent of incense, creating a sacred and warm space. Nhat gently wiped the sweat from her forehead, then bowed her head to straighten the wooden chopsticks. She said nothing, but her eyes were full of emotion. In her heart was a deep gratitude. Alex stood behind, looking at his mother, looking at Nhat, looking at his little son, and clearly felt a simple happiness that he thought he would never have. In the misty smoke, he silently prayed, "Thank you, ancestors, for giving me a real home." The incense smoke began to spread, each thin circle of incense curling around the altar like mist of memories. Alex's mother prayed softly, then turned to teach Nhat each word. Her voice was deep, both solemn and full of love. "I pray to my ancestors to witness. Today Nhat, Alex's wife, is officially accepted into the family. I hope the ancestors will bless the couple to be harmonious, the children to be healthy and filial." Nhat clasped her hands, her voice trembling with emotion. She repeated each word, Vietnamese, with a strange accent, but full of sincerity. Alex stood by, listening, his heart choked up. He looked at his mother, looked at his wife, then looked up at the altar, where his father's portrait was smiling in the incense smoke. He suddenly saw, more clearly than ever, the meaning of the two words, family. Not just bloodline, but a bond, a love big enough to overcome all differences. Henry bowed his head slightly beside his parents, his childish voice mingling with the prayer, innocent yet sacred. In that moment, Alex understood that this house, this family, and this tradition now had a new part, named Nhat. Nhat felt her heart stop. Tears rolled down, but her mouth still smiled. She clearly felt the warmth of family spreading around her, both sacred and strangely peaceful.